My favorite person in the entire world is my grandmother, Grandma Sarah. She's the best person I know. She's caring, she's sensitive, she's kind, she's gentle. Honestly, she's not just the best grandmother, she's the best person I know. And I'm her oldest grandson, so I've always felt like we had this really special relationship. I didn't know my grandfather as well. He passed away when I was 5. I have some vague memories of me sitting on his lap watching the Dukes of Hazzard, and I have some memory of him giving me this toy, but I didn't get to know him as well. But it must be that he and my grandmother had an amazing relationship, because my grandmother never got remarried after he passed. And if you ask my grandmother, why didn't you get remarried? She'll look at you and she'll say, I'm married. I'm married to your grandfather. Just because he's not around doesn't mean that their relationship has ended. Now, when I told my grandmother that I was dating my wife, she told me, I want to give you a present. And she gave me the ring that her husband, my grandfather, had given to her. And obviously this ring meant a lot to her. So you can imagine how much it meant to me when I got down on one knee and gave it to my wife. And I've noticed that in the beginning of our relationship, big gifts meant a lot to my wife. But as we get older and as our relationship continues to get deeper, somehow smaller gifts mean a lot more than the bigger gifts. In fact, I've noticed that the card has more of an impact than the gift. What I want to share with you today is the reason why big gifts make a big difference in the beginning is because in the beginning of our relationship there's a big gap. And big gifts help us bridge a big gap. Passion, fire, is what helps us bridge the gap in our relationships. But as we get older and as our relationships mature and get deeper, all of a sudden that big gift seems a little inappropriate. It's like, what did you do wrong? Why are you so over the top? Sometimes the smaller gift has a bigger impact because it says, of course we're together, but I want you to know how much I see you. So it's like that classic story of we were walking in the city and you once commented how much you loved that book and it reminded you of when you were a child, and so I went out and bought a first edition. It's not a big gift. It doesn't cost thousands of dollars like a diamond ring, but it has a much bigger impact. See, there's two types of relationships. There's the fire relationship with that big gap, and passion helps us bridge that gap. But then there's the water relationship. It's sort of under the sea. It's deeper. It has a lot more meaning. It has a lot more context. In a deep relationship, we need deeper gifts, not bigger gifts. So it's about the card. It's about the sentiment. It's about the value, not in terms of the gift, but in terms of you and I. And I guess what I want to challenge all of us to do is find the courage deep within us to be able to go out, find that gift that's really meaningful to your loved one, and have the courage to give that gift in a sentimental way. Have the courage to give that gift in a way that lets the other person know how much they mean to you. Not in terms of bridging the gap, but in terms of this relationship is the most important thing in my life.